commendable of Congress to put this together, because we had to go through this whole process of shifting assets around before. Now you don't have to do that. If you've got a family or an estate with less than $10 million, you don't really have to go through this process, although I'll talk about why I recommend you do, of shifting assets over, because that surviving spouse is going to inherit that his prior spouse's unused exemption for of an additional amount above that if the surviving spouse wants to do that. So I think, to answer your question, there should always be a disclaimer provision in every estate plan, every will. I don't care if it's a simple will or a more complex will. That's just a good flexibility, safety mechanism to have.
You have to have evaluation done for ESOPs. Gift and estate, again, we'll spend most of our time today talking about those kind of valuations. Family limited partnerships. We're going to talk quite a bit about the discounting features, because that's one of the big concepts and one of the big benefits of the valuations in family limited partnerships, which are now typically holding companies or LLCs, are the discounts for lack of control and discounts for lack of marketability. Charitable contributions, again, we'll talk about those kind of things. Succession planning becomes a huge issue in small family held businesses. How do we get this down from one generation to the next? Now, this goes beyond how do we do this without paying estate taxes, but how do we do this and still keep the family and the business intact? And that becomes a very tricky thing sometimes.